you go off the resort, and if you eat from a food truck in I'm going to say a food truck in a foreign country, or a food, something off the side of the road.
The vendors, the street
vendors, I would highly probably recommend not doing that. If you're on the resort, 99.9% of the time, everything is safe. You can drink I don't drink the water from the sink, but you can brush your teeth. It is a case where they all have bottled water. You don't have to worry about the ice in your drinks. I do still have a tendency to kind of stay away from the lettuce and everything when I'm on vacation, but I do stick with the peelable fruits so that I know that what I'm putting in hopefully will not
yes
seek revenge on me.
And that's why we have our little graphic, and that is from the CDC, and what's safer, what's not, and you can find that right on your own computer screen. The CDC also has a really nice travel, should we call it a travel tool?
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so a lot of times when people are traveling, they may or may not know types of vaccines that they need. Well, if you go on the CDC website, I don't want to have anybody alarmed, and they absolutely can call the
Niagara County Department of Health Immunization Clinic, and you will see a graphic for that in just a little bit as well.
If you do any type of research, if you're on the CDC, you're going to see most places are going to recommend that you need the hepatitis A shot. Is it required? I don't want anyone to think that you absolutely have to have it, but definitely call the health department, vaccine department, determine if you need that. A lot of times people don't realize that they do need certain vaccines to travel to certain countries. Most of the countries, if you're going on an African safari, you're going to need some additional shots such as typhoid, yellow fever. So there definitely are vaccines that are required to travel to certain countries.
Absolutely. Many countries, and a lot of people are not aware of this, not only are there disease-specific countries, but our health department does know what to do if you are traveling to these countries. Some places have some really unusual things, like you wouldn't think that developed countries such as Greece that you would need a special vaccine, but you do. If you're going to China, if you're going to Southeast Asia, these are all things to check on. If you're traveling to the Philippines, there's a lot of stray animals, so you have to be really careful and know. Please, this is just a rule of thumb, where no matter where you're traveling, whether you're traveling to the next city north of us or if you're traveling around the world, never, ever, ever touch or pet stray animals. I don't care how cute the temple monkeys are or the stray dog that walks up to you. So many countries and areas do not have rabies rules the way we do, and your whole trip can be cut short, and you could even die if you are bitten by an animal carrying the rabies virus. So please don't pet the stray animals.
Yeah, and the CDC website, they actually have almost like a point and click where you can, say if you're male or female, and it actually asks you specific questions and determines if you need any additional vaccines.
Yep, and what you need to know. So that's great. You fill out the little questionnaire, and up comes the information that you need to know. And you always have your computer, and there's always experts like Angela
Yes.
and the people that she works with to help answer questions about destination-specific information. But please remember our health department, because we have a lot of people there who really know what you need to know. Let's talk a little bit about hotels, motels, and inns. What's a hostel?
Oh, a hostel. So a hostel is more of basic accommodations.
Okay.
However, they do have their youth hostels are probably more of the ones a lot of people think of, where it's going to be really basic accommodations. It can also be communal accommodations. So there are ones out there that are better than others, but it is definitely a case where definitely do your research if you are looking to stay in a hostel. Is it going to be a communal room? Is it going to be a private room? Is there shared bathrooms, non-shared bathrooms? Because those are all things that sometimes people don't think about when they think they're actually saving a lot of money, because the hostel may be a lot less expensive. Some of those are some of the things you need to take into account.
Great. Whenever we're in a hotel or a motel or a hostel,
Yeah.
we have to check for bed
bugs.
bugs. So bed bugs are tiny little insects that do get larger as they feed, and they are parasitic, so they do feed off the human body. Some really good things to know about bed bugs is before you go into your room, you put your suitcase in the bathroom, and you unmake the bed down to the mattress. And bed bugs are aggregate creatures. It means they like to stay close together, they like to touch, but they come out at night when they sense your carbon dioxide, the air that you're breathing out. So they come and they feast. So the best thing you can do is to check before you go to sleep. So you look at the roll around the mattress and you pull it back. If you take a credit card or a library card and run it near the seams of the, if there was like a headboard, you'd run it around the edge, inside the drawers, and you look for remnants of bed bugs because they like to hide in screw holes and they like to hide in seams. So what happens? Let's say we find, do most travelers have recourse if there's insects like bed bugs or cockroaches in the room?
They may have some. So it could definitely be a case of where what I would recommend is if you do, if you check into your room, you do happen to maybe suspect that they're there, go down to the front desk immediately, ask for a new room. If it is a case of where I did see that there are cases where if it's a bad case of you were bitten up badly, you very well may be able to have medical expenses and that taken care of by the hotel. But definitely if you suspect it when you're checking in, go back down to the front desk, ask for another room, inspect that room as well. And if it has a tendency where all of them seem bad, then call and get another hotel.
There you go.
Yeah.
One of the things I really want to make sure that our guests are well aware of, we never know if there's going to be an emergency. If you are physically incapacitated in any way, if you use crutches, cane, a walker, if you need a hip replacement, you've just had surgery, please book ahead and get the first floor room. The first floor room, because during a fire or an emergency, you're not allowed to use the elevator. And that means you will have to go down the stairs. And if you are holding up 100 people on a stairway, it could become deadly.
A lot of hotels as well now do actually have confirmable ADA rooms. And they actually have, I'm trying to think of which hotelier it is, they actually have the ADA rooms, and they actually even have some hearing aided rooms as well too. So the ADA rooms have a certain specification, and the hearing rooms would have
the flash alarms.
And everything too. And those are things that you can get confirmable with the hotels directly.
All such good information. Today, Angela has just shared so much information with us about healthy travel and safety. There were so many things I wanted to talk about, and I think we got through most of it. Just things to carry with you. Don't forget to carry your travel partner's information with you should you get separated on your trip. That's really important to have. I ask you, please, just remember what we've had today. Don't hesitate to call me. My information's been on the screen. Don't hesitate to call Angela Werzenik at the AAA. And we both want to wish you happy and safe travels. So, shall we? Shall we? Here's cheers and happy travels.
Yep.
Happy travels and stay healthy out there. Thank you, and join us again next month.
But it would be safe to keep your distance until
A secret that makes you smile.
reliable sources say that chicken soup has found their way out of this dangerous, but they are returned.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.